Hello, I'm Rosalyn Nieves.
And I'm Cliff Jacobs.
Welcome to Queen's Update. Today's program is designed to provide members of the community with an opportunity to express their thoughts and concerns about our topic, the American Dream.
Are you living the American dream, or perhaps the American dream is dead? Today, there are more war veterans sleeping on the streets than ever before.
The cost of tuition at many of America's colleges and universities have soared to astronomical heights, and graduating students find themselves deep in debt with no prospect of a career or even just a job.
Many American families face high underwater mortgages but do not qualify for assistance.
Each home lost to foreclosure has an automatic domino effect on the family and the community.
In September of 2008, Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy. Soon after, many of our country's leading financial institutions threatened to follow suit.
It's 2012, and once again, as Americans, we must decide whether to re-elect our current president or send someone else to Washington.
The idea of the American dream can be found in our Declaration of Independence, which states that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It further states that governments are instituted to secure these rights.
Prosperity and success, achieving upward social mobility through hard work, building a better life, no matter how little you started off with. These were always possible in the United States of America.
But is that still possible?
This is a live call-in program, and therefore we welcome calls from our viewers. If you would like to participate, the number is 718-460-9802.
I would like to welcome and introduce our distinguished guests. To my right, I have Mr. Anthony Reardon, who is part of International Banking Systems. Dr. Lenora Jones-Macbeth, educator, welcome. Dr. Ivor Lloyd Griffith, Professor of Political Science, Provost, and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs of York College. Mr. Louis Falco, who is the Chairman of the Veterans Operation Initiative, Rotary International District 7250. Aissatou Bey Grisha, Community Activist, welcome. And the Honorable Archie Spigner, former New York City Council member, welcome to our program.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. But I'd like to give the first question to the Honorable Archie Spigner. With today's tough economy, are Americans able to attain the quote-unquote American dream?
I believe that most Americans believe that to achieve the American dream, they got to hit the lotto. And they're enabled in this fallacy by our government, which opens casinos here and there, and make it available for scarce resources to be sucked out of our community. We just opened a casino on Rockaway Boulevard, and if you read in the papers, it said in the short time that they're there, they've already turned over to the government in excess of $100 million, $100 million in taxes and other sorts of revenues. So the American dream is by definition is hard to describe. I guess it's to be warm and well-fed, and to see your children successful and do better than you have done. I think it becomes more and more difficult with outsourcing and automation and scarcity of natural resources. It's a tough definition. It's a tough status to achieve.
Thank you.
So, by definition, I mean, let's ask ourselves, what was the American dream to begin with? Was it that you would have a family, they would invest in a home, have children, send their children off to college? Is that something that maybe it was just a dream? we're not calling it the American reality, we're calling it a dream. Was it ever something that was actually attainable to begin with?
There was a level of prosperity. Remember there was a saying back in the 30s, a car in every garage and a chicken in every pot.
That's correct.
That was the level of American prosperity. That was the American dream. You could own a home, have a vehicle, have a well-fed family, and be able to put your children through college so that they could be better than you. Okay.
And I mean, what I was thinking is, when you were asking that question, is that, you know, the dream is changed. You know, I guess that a lot of it depends on the dreamer. And I mean, some people dream in Xbox terms. You know, some people dream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I don't know if the house and the car and the dogs. You know, the 2 dogs and was it 1.5 children?
Right, something like that, right?
Something like that in a car in a garage.
2.5 children
you know,
and 1.5 dogs.
And a Chevrolet at that.
Right.
I don't know if those things, you know, exist right now for our young people or the people who are, I guess, the most invested in the dream state. You know, I just think that the dream has been redefined and is always redefining. And quite frankly, I think that they're dream bigger. That the dreamers are bigger than the car and the house. I mean, people, you know, and that little house that we were dreaming about, it doesn't look anything like, you know, the house that I think that the dreamers are dreaming about now. I mean, you know, we have, you know, cribs on TV and movie stars that have sprawling mansions, and those are what dreams are made of now.
And people are getting into debt to obtain those dreams.
Or even
deeper
something
and deeper.
So
I mean, I'm sure.
I agree.
I grew up in a house when my mom stayed home. My dad was able to go to work and make enough money to support the house.
Yeah.
I think that the dream is, coming back to the point made a few minutes ago, the dream is not only about material things.
Right.
The dream is part about values. Free speech was a dream. You know, we take for granted that someone can get on TV or any place and be humorous and criticize the president, judges, criticize religious leaders. That's not something that happens as a reality in many countries. And I think part of the American dream was not only for the material, it was about pursuing opportunities to have freedoms in a different way. But I want to go back to the beginning of the experiment. The experiment was not only about dreams. The experiment was also about nightmares.
Right.
You know, we all embraced the Constitution, we the people, but it was not for everybody.
Absolutely.
It was not for women.
That's right.
It was not for poor whites. It was certainly not for Indians. It was certainly not for blacks.